Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving working moms come to learn how to stop over drinking, reduce overwhelm and anxiety, and show up like the players they were meant to be. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik, and let's dig in. Welcome to episode 34, Better Than Expected. What's up? How are you guys? I am fantastic. This is the last week of summer break for my children. And my niece is here. She's 19. She flew down from Indiana to babysit the kids this week because there's no camps or summer schools or anything. So they are out on adventures. They are out navigating our public transit system. My kids actually know it pretty well, but she doesn't. So my 9-year-old daughter is helping her. I hired her to be her assistant, and it's so cute. Like, we negotiated her salary, my daughter's, and I initially offered $1 a day. So for 5 days, she would get $5, and she said no. And then I offered $2 a day, and she said, hell yeah. So she is getting paid $10 to be my niece's assistant and to help keep the boys in line and like play with them and make sure like she's engaging with them and everybody's happy, and to navigate the bus system and to just be my niece's right-hand lady. So super fun. They are out right now. They took the bus to the movie theater and the house is quiet, and so it's a perfect time to record my podcast. A little unexpected thing happened yesterday. My husband, poor guy, he broke his jaw when he was in college, and that's a whole nother story for another day, but he broke his jaw and he had to have some plates put into his jaw, and therefore it's affected his adult teeth. And slowly over the past like 10 years, he has had to have some of those teeth pulled. And poor guy developed an abscess on the last tooth that was affected and had to go in and have an emergency extraction this morning, and had to be put under general anesthesia for that. And I had to rearrange my schedule this morning and take him, but he was super nervous about it. And of course, his brain was projecting worst case scenarios, that there would be something wrong with his jaw and his jaw was infected. But he was pleasantly surprised when he went in for his consultation late last night after the referral from the dentist that this place that he's never been to, this oral surgery place, was super nice. Everybody was friendly. They made him feel like he would be taken care of. They did amazing imaging. They have such great technology now. So he was feeling a little bit better, and I got to go with him this morning and wait while he had the surgery. And I was just super impressed with the staff and the whole experience and the communication. I got to meet the doctor twice, and the post-op with the nurse sitting with us and just talking and just like making sure that Pete was in a good place before he left. And so I think it was better than expected for him in this whole experience, which was very scary. Of course, worst case scenarioing and all that. So he is sleeping and resting now. But the topic of this podcast is titled Better Than Expected. And it was just so funny that this thing happened with Pete and his oral surgery. And then that was the topic that I had on deck for this week's podcast. So a couple stories coming up with that. The first one was that I had scheduled this beach trip last week. I had scheduled it months ago, right? I scheduled it like back in the spring for this week that I was going to take the kids to the beach with another mom and her 2 kids. And when I scheduled it, I knew that their kids would be in full-time summer camps, and all summer that they were covered, so with childcare, so my husband and I could work. And so I wanted to schedule them to have like a real vacation this summer, so I scheduled this beach trip months ago. And I planned it. I was thinking it would be good for them to have a break and the real vacation, blah, blah, blah. I hadn't really thought about my work or what would be going on in my life when I planned it. I thought that maybe I'd still be able to work on vacation, and that I would sort of decide that as I got closer. Well, this summer ended up being really successful for me as I had planned it to be, and I have a full client schedule. So the beach trip got closer. I started having all sorts of thoughts about it. I knew I needed to take the week off completely because it would be way too much to juggle the kids and having client calls, and I wanted to take a break because I haven't had a significant amount of time off since December of last year. So I decided to take the week off, and then more thoughts came with that, right? Like, oh my God, you haven't had a week off in 8 months. You should have planned a week off alone. And how are you going to relax with 5 kids in a small house and Pete not being there to give you a break? All of the fighting and the noise and the juggling is going to be so hard. That's what my thoughts were telling me. That's what my brain was telling me. And my brain started giving me all these thoughts about 2 weeks before the trip. And then I started feeling really anxious about the trip. And at this moment, I just was thanking God for self-coaching. And I'm so always thankful that I have the tools to manage my mind. And I can recognize that these thoughts weren't on track for the experience I wanted to have. So I coached myself and I got coached and ultimately decided to change my thinking. I recognized that my thinking was causing this anxiety pre-trip, right? And so I decided that I didn't want to think that way anymore. I decided to think I booked this trip for the kids so they could have fun, and I'm going to have fun with them. And I can still relax and enjoy my time. And I'm excited about taking a break from work and giving my brain a much needed rest. I discovered that my biggest point of anxiety with self-coaching and getting coached was thinking about my littlest son, Arlo. He's sort of the odd man out in this situation because my 2 older kids had friends their age at the beach, and he's always just trying to fit in with them, and he wants to play with them, and he's just rowdy and like this little pinball, just sort of like bouncing from one point to another. So I decided that I would be his buddy on this trip, and we would make the most of it. So before we left for the beach, I was getting really excited. I believed that we would have fun. I believed that everything was going to be okay. And it totally was. When we arrived, it was 1,000 times better than I expected. The beach was absolutely beautiful. There was white sand, easy to walk on and get to, the easy waves. The water was so warm and lovely for an East Coast, North Carolina beach situation. And I was just blown away. I've never been to this beach before. And almost when I got there, that's what I thought. Like, this is way better than what I was expecting. Even though I managed my mind, I turned it around. I was excited instead of anxious. It was way better than I expected. I loved it so much. I want to go back next summer for longer. And I was thinking about this trip and how it was better than I expected. It got me thinking of other things that were better than I expected. And almost immediately, I thought of my first coaching program that I purchased to stop over drinking and to lose my weight for the last time. Oh my God. I was a bit nervous about the financial impact paying for that program was going to have on my family. I was not earning any money at the time. I had just quit my job. We had a huge monthly preschool bill to pay for, plus our mortgage and car payments, all that, right? Super nervous about it. I thought I would just try it for a few months and see what happens. Well, I'm still in that program almost 2 years later, you guys. It was way better than I expected. I bought the program because I wanted the results it offered. I wanted to lose weight permanently and to stop over drinking. But the real benefit of coaching provided me was a skill to manage my mind to create anything I wanted in my life. That was the real benefit of it. I used the overdrinking and weight loss as the vehicle to learning how to self-coach and to do mind work that enabled me to changing my thoughts about everything in my life. So learning how to manage my thoughts significantly reduced my chronic anxiety and overwhelm. I learned that feelings are not caused by anything besides our thoughts, and we are the luckiest species on the planet because we can change our thoughts whenever we want. I changed my thoughts about my beach trip and had an amazing time. I changed my thoughts about my eating and drinking patterns and lost 50 pounds and don't drink anymore. If you are considering a life coach for any area of your life, prepare to get your mind blown. It's way better than anything you could ever expect. It's hard, it's challenging. You can have major growth when you're open to seeing how your thoughts are manifesting in your life and your current results. So this podcast is titled Better Than Expected. I'm going to dig into what exactly is an expectation for you. So think about this for a second. What are expectations? An expectation is a thought you have about something in the future, right? I actually looked up the definition like I love to do. An expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. A belief is just a thought. So I'm going to repeat that definition again. The definition for an expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. And a belief, as I've talked to you guys about before, is just a thought. It's a sentence in our brain. So we have these expectations, thoughts or beliefs on our employees' performance, right? Something someone creates in the future. We hire somebody, we have an expectation of what they will do for us, right? In the future. We have expectations about our kids' behavior, how they should act when they brush their teeth in the evening, how they should act when we're eating dinner, right? These are things that happen in the future. We have expectations about the hotels on vacation or the trendy restaurant we are going to next Friday night. We have expectations about our partners and what they should do for us. Expectations are merely thoughts. They are sentences in our mind that create a feeling or an emotion. So when you have those thoughts or expectations about something that hasn't happened yet, you might feel nervous or doubtful or worried. You can also have grand expectations that something is going to be amazing and you can just picture exactly how it will be in your mind. Those expectations leave you feeling excited, happy, or motivated. Most of you have high expectations for yourselves. You have a lot of things going well in your lives. You work hard. You have accomplished most of the things that you want in your life, right? But you struggle with overdrinking. And this struggle has been going on for years for most of you. Most of my clients have struggled for anywhere between 5 and 20 years. And if you are like me, you might have been caught up in having a low expectation of your ability to permanently stop overdrinking or overeating or both. You've tried cutting back before it failed. You might have gone weeks or months without drinking, but when you start up again, you slowly find your way back to old habits. So with this low expectation, you passively try things, right? You might read some books, you might listen to some podcasts, you might try meditation, you might avoid social situations, going on an alcohol diet, right? All with the hopes that you will do better. But then you don't, and your struggle continues. What if your expectations could be better? What if you decided that this is the last time that you go on a journey to stop overdrinking and you find that this journey was better than you ever expected? What if you decided to hire a private life coach like me or somebody like me to help you and you invest in yourself and your life and you go all in? And then once you are doing the work and seeing fast, amazing, permanent changes, your mind gets blown and it ends up being way better than you expected. So much better, in fact, that you've quickly stopped over drinking, you're losing weight, and you're now wondering what else you can do. You never had high expectations for yourself in this area of your life, but now, since you finally solved it, it makes you realize there's nothing you can't do, literally. Your experience on this journey is way better than you expected. Just like other things, you couldn't see fully and understand exactly what would happen, but you were pleasantly surprised. My friends, I promise with everything in my being, with everything that I have, that the people that go on a journey to stop over drinking and do the work and get coached feel it was way better than expected. Their results are off the charts. They're coming off anxiety medications. They aren't emotionally eating or drinking anymore. They're improving their relationships with their kids and their partners. They are unencumbered by all the chatter in their brains about food and alcohol. They make decisions quickly that align with their future goals in life. They are starting businesses, making more money in their current businesses. You guys, when you learn how to permanently stop over drinking and eating, your experience will be way better than you ever expected. Surprise yourself with what you can do. Invest in yourself and your life and strive for more. You are made to be someone who doesn't need alcohol or food to manage their lives. You are smart and capable and are constantly achieving. Let's get over drinking out of the way to see where you can go. The sky is truly the limit. And if you want to blow your own mind and have your experience to stopping over drinking be better than you could ever imagined, I want to invite you to take the next step in this. Take the next action. You can request a free consultation with me via the link here in the podcast notes. And so I want to tell you about my private 8-week one-on-one coaching program that will blow your mind, okay? And I haven't spent a lot of time describing in detail about my program on the podcast, but I feel like I need to because it's so amazing and my clients are getting such amazing results. And sometimes when the listeners come on a consultation with me, It's hard for them to picture the other side. So I want to paint a picture for you of what's available to you. And it's better than you can expect. It's better than what your mind can anticipate right now, because you're not there you're not there yet. So I want you to imagine never having to struggle again, never worrying that you will overdrink, going out with your spouse or friends and being able to drive home. Imagine what never feeling tired or cloudy in the morning would feel like because you overdrink. Imagine not having the thoughts and the urges to drink after work every night. Imagine feeling less anxious and not needing wine or medication to deal with it. Imagine waking up early, feeling amazing, slaying your workout, going to work full of new ideas, and then coming home and never having should I or shouldn't I thoughts again. What would that freedom be like for you? That is what I'm offering you with private coaching specifically designed to stop overdrinking, and for a lot of you, stop overeating as well. The freedom, the peace, the reduced anxiety, your improved self-confidence, and it's 100% available to you if you want that. On the consultation, we will discuss where you are now and where you want to be after you stop overdrinking and overeating. And I'll tell you the exact path we will take to get there, and if I think you're a good fit for coaching, and you may not be. And I'll be 100% honest with you about that. Okay? Not everybody that comes on the consultation is offered a spot in my program. You have to be willing to be all in, though. You have to be willing to invest time and money into solving this problem for you. You have to be willing to take full responsibility for your current results in your life. And you have to be willing to take full responsibility for your future results. Only you can create new results. I'll guide you and coach you and set you up with an exact plan to take, but you are the one that has to do the work. And when you get results this way, wow, that is an amazing sense of accomplishment, amazing sense of pride and achievement, and it makes you wonder like, oh my gosh, if I can do that, I can do anything. You're committed, you dug in, you failed, you figured it out, and ultimately you succeed. So if you want new results and you want the freedom from overdrinking, it's all on you, boo. Take the next step and request the consultation. I promise you, if anything, you'll have an understanding of a new way to make decisions that actually move you forward in getting the goal that you want, and that is to stop overdrinking. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.